Halftime of the NBA Finals. Glad that you could tune in with us at Off the Glass Basketball. Harris Bouchard here with Nick Fay, and an up and down, extremely exciting first half. I think we got a little bit of everything, but pretty much what we expected. The Cavaliers lead the Golden State Warriors 51-48 at the Oracle in Game 1, and after a 29-19 first quarter, the Warriors made up some ground the second, Nick.
Yeah, it was a great first half, and like you said, the Warriors got off to a slow start, and the Cavs were able to get a double-digit lead, and then the Warriors were able to come back, and the Cavs were able to come back again and take the lead back. So it's going to be an exciting second half for sure.
So only 19 points for the explosive offense, but I thought the bench played a crucial role in getting Golden State back in this game.
Yeah, they definitely did. They came in, they played some great defense. They went after it. Andre Iguodala had some great plays. Sean Livingston was aggressive. Barbosa, they all chipped in.
Absolutely. And Maurice Spates, I think a lot of credit. You know, a lot in sports is made out to, bench guys as staying ready, and a guy who hasn't got much of an opportunity. He played a major role in some of the baskets he made in the second quarter.
Yeah, especially for someone who hasn't played in a while. He's been out with an injury. He's come in, hit a few buckets, get a few rebounds. He definitely had a nice impact for them.
Absolutely. And we saw J.R. Smith make a big three and Shumpert a couple. I know Knick fans that are watching this game are scratching their heads at the impact that the former Knicks have had. And even Timothy Mozgov, we know it's going to take a big effort from LeBron if Kyrie's not healthy, but, Kyrie looked pretty good. But what can you say about the way that these role players for the former Knicks played in the first half of the Cavaliers?
Well, it's always important for J.R. Smith to get off to a good start. When he always hits his first few baskets, you feel like he might have a good game, So I thought that was important. And Mozgov did a great job of filling the lane, especially when LeBron and Kyrie created and got into the lane and tried to get to the rim. He filled in perfectly and got a few dunks. He had some nice plays in that half. And Shumpert just was able to be aggressive on D.
So in a few minutes, we're going to bring on one of our writers, Max Russo, is going to join the halftime show, and he's written several articles on how the Warriors are going to defend the best player in the world, LeBron. And LeBron was 7 of 16 in the first half for 19 points. So we'll get to Max in a couple moments. But what can you say about Tristan Thompson? I mean, the guy is all over the glass, and they were 14-7 at one point, the Cavaliers were on the glass. And he just seems to be keeping a tremendous amount of offense rebounds available for the Cavs, and his effort has definitely gone noticed for NBA fans in the first half.
Yeah, he definitely had his impact on the first half. He was able to, like you said, grab a few rebounds offensively and defensively. I think he had 7 or 8 to finish the half. And not only was he getting rebounds, but he was drawing a ton of fouls, loose ball fouls. They were all over him. He definitely made his presence felt. And he was able to hit a few hook shots in the paint as well.
Absolutely, he did. And so the Warriors, again, 3-15 from the field to start. And if you told them they'd be down 3.5 with the way they've played, I think they'd be really excited. I think this was a C- effort from the Warriors in the first half. Curry and Spates obviously bailed them out. Iguodala gave them a couple big buckets. But for the most part, the crowd just really, when you're down 13-14, the crowd noise and that energy in that building kind of keeps them in it. And we saw some spectacular plays from Steph.
Yeah, definitely. Steph was able to light up in the second quarter. Like you said, in the first quarter, they didn't really get off to a good start. I think you've mentioned to me that you thought it might be nerves. And they were shooting 28% from the field in the first quarter and 20% from three. And you knew that wasn't going to keep up for the whole game. So definitely the Warriors pretty happy where they are right now.
Absolutely. So a 29-19 first quarter for the Cavs, followed by a 29-22 second quarter from the Warriors. So it was kind of the offsetting quarters. The matchup that we wanted to see was Kyrie and Steph. And I think with Kyrie kind of showing you some signs of life, how much pressure is that going to be able to take off LeBron if he's able to give us more than what we thought he was going to give us?
That will be huge. I think one thing that was surprising was his defense. He had a few great defensive plays on Steph Curry with that block when he tried to drive on him, and that steal that he made and was able to finish in the fast break. So he looked healthy. One thing I tweeted out was tendonitis. He had 7 or 8 days of rest. So I want to see how his knee reacts after playing a few games in a few days.
And last question I have for you, and then hopefully we'll get Max on in a couple moments. LeBron shot 16 times in the first half. Do you see this being a series where he's going to take 30, 35 shots a game in order for his team to stay in ball games?
I think that LeBron's going to have big games for the Cavs to win this series. He's going to have to perform like he did in the Atlanta series. Not necessarily take a ton of shots, but he's going to have the ball a lot in his hands and maybe set up his teammates, but he's going to have to make plays.
Absolutely. So if you
Just
want
a ton of talent on the Golden State side.
if you want to try to get Max on within the next couple of minutes, that would be great. And Max Russo has joined. So Max, you hear us?
Yes.
What's up, man? You enjoy the first half or what?
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Definitely, definitely. So I read a few of the articles online, and thinking about this Green-Thompson matchup. Has Thompson surprised you? I know he's played real well in the Eastern Conference Finals, but matching the toughness of Green, if not tougher, has he surprised you a little bit in how well he looked in the first half?
Yeah, I mean he looked great in the first half. I think he had 7 or 8 rebounds. Compared to Green's, Green hasn't had a rebound yet. So I mean Green's scoring the ball, but he hasn't been able to match Thompson on the toughness part on the boards.
Definitely, and also with who they're going to throw at LeBron. I know it was Barnes for a while. It's going to probably be Iguodala a little bit. Looked like he was able to pretty much get whatever he wanted to. And I just asked Nick this question: with 16 shot attempts, is that something you think is going to be a theme in this series? Like, he's never really been a volume shooter, but is he kind of forced to do more of that now?
Yeah, I think for this Cavaliers team to really have success in this series, LeBron has to turn into that volume shooter. I mean, they're missing Kevin Love, and Irving's not at 100%, so LeBron has to be a scorer this series. And yeah, in order to do that, he has to be a volume shooter.
Absolutely. Nick, you agree?
I mean, I agree to some point, but I think that not necessarily he has to take a ton of shots. He can still set up some of the teammates like J.R. Smith and Amon Shumpert. They can get hot. And I think it depends on Kyrie. Right now he looks good, and we got to monitor his health going through the rest of the series. I think that'll have a big impact.
In '07 and Max on OTG Basketball, again, you're listening to the Halftime Show Off the Glass podcast. You had mentioned the '07 run, and he had with Mo Williams and the other guys that were on that Cavalier team, whoever it was. But and you made the comparisons to this run that he's made with this Cavalier team, with the way he left and things coming full circle. I think this obviously may be a little bit more impressive with injuries, but you see that look in LeBron's face and how determined he is right now. Do you think that Kyrie has to be Kyrie, or can other guys step up on this roster? How much trust do you think LeBron is putting in guys outside of Kyrie, Deladova to hit big shots, guys of that nature?
Well, I think, like you just saw it, J.R. Smith's kind of hot and cold, but he can go off for 20 any night. Amon Shumpert's been knocking down the 3 today. So I think LeBron, one of his greatest attributes has always been to trust his teammates. You know, he's always going to trust his teammates. And I think that's why earlier on in his career, when we saw him, you know, passing up the last shot, that was more him trusting his teammates rather than him being scared.
And also in the 2011 finals, we know about what happened against the Mavericks and being 2-3. Do you think he puts? Obviously, we know what kind of pressure he puts on himself to be successful, but the 2-3 stuff and you know, all the criticism that he's gotten, like you said, sometimes in big moments, some of that stuff's overblown. Sometimes when you're the best player in the world, you got to realize that kind of stuff, that kind of criticism comes with it. But now this legacy thing that we talk about with LeBron, how important do you think, and beating a team that might be better and getting to that 3-3, 500 mark, and how much you think he invested in himself and being maybe considered the best player ever?
You know, I think if he does end up losing this series and him going 2-4 in the finals in his career, I think, you know, all the LeBron haters, so to say, they will use that as kind of fuel to fuel that type of conversation. However, you know what? He's accomplished so many things throughout his career. He's setting all records, even these playoffs. He's set a few records already. So, you know, I really don't think it really matters to him. He said before the season even started that it was going to be a process. He didn't actually expect to win this year. So I think he's actually exceeding expectations so far. Obviously, he wants to win, but you know, it's not. He's still proven so much in his career already.
Agreed. And also, just to add to a couple of those points, with JR and Shumpert being hot and cold, a lot of Knick fans, Max, we talked to in New York, are so frustrated by watching some of the former Knicks that are contributing to this Cavs finals teams. But to have a leader like LeBron and be in that kind of system, now it goes to show you maybe the immaturity or the lack of professionalism that could have went on in New York and what kind of toxic environment that could be. One thing I've always said about LeBron, the teams that he's on, they seem to just take care of business and put the game first. You see the way LeBron on Twitter, he shuts everything down. He just really cares about winning over everything, and you could see that when you get guys like Shumpert and Smith who are talented, but it seems like when they're around guys like that, it's going to have a positive impact.
Yeah, I think that really just speaks to how great LeBron is. I mean, you take Carmelo Anthony, who those guys were playing with before, who went right after LeBron in the draft, and some consider him to be one of the top players in the league. And those Knicks with J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert couldn't do anything. Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith were both struggling with the Knicks, and as soon as they come and play with LeBron, it's a whole different story.
Absolutely. And also, to start 3-15 like the Warriors did from the field, to be only down 3, doesn't this feel like a win for them in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'd love to be up, but they still got to get Klay Thompson going. I'd like to see Andrew Bogut be a bit stronger with the ball if he could around the rim. He's missed a couple of easy ones. So yeah, they're definitely getting some looks. Cleveland's playing good defense, but I think they're definitely happy where they are now, especially being down by so much earlier on.
And Max, real appreciate for joining us right before we log off tonight. We just experiment with this as our first time on during live action during the finals. We'll go around the horn. I'll start it off. We'll go to Nick and then finish with Max just for some second half predictions. Right now, 51-48 Cavs. They got off to the quick start, led by as many as about 13 or 14 in this first half. Dominated the glass at times. Kyrie looks healthier than we expected. But at the same time, with the crowd and the way Curry looked, it's really going to come down to me, who plays better in the fourth between Curry or LeBron. And in this game one, I'll stick with my original pick, and I'll say, well, I think I said 105, 99, 100, in that area. I say Warriors by about 4 or 5 in that 105, 100 range. Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my prediction from before. I think, like you said, the crowd's going to get into it. Curry looked like he was about to catch fire at the end of that half. And it's going to just come down to the fourth quarter who can knock down the shots. And I have more confidence in the Warriors than the Cavs. And I'm going to stick with my original score, 98-94 Golden State.
Max?
Yeah, unlike you guys, I think that that Curry, he's not on fire yet, but I'm really looking for Klay Thompson to get going. I mean, he's only got 5 points right now. He hit a couple free throws and then a 3. So I'm expecting Klay Thompson to kind of go off in this half, and the Warriors defense to pick up just a bit more. So I'm gonna say Warriors 103-97.
All right, so there you have it, our 3 predictions. And anybody out there that was listening to our halftime show tonight, this was kind of an experimental thing. Max gave us some great insight, and you could find all his writing on otgbasketball.com and follow us on Twitter at otgbasketball. So we'll be doing this throughout the finals. I think we'll be on again. Nick, you correct me if I'm wrong, for Game 3, and we're going to be taking this by a on the go type of basis. But again, really appreciate everyone that was out there listening tonight, and Max, really appreciate you coming on with us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, great job, Max, and I appreciate everyone listening tonight. And like Harris said, we'll be back for Game 3, and we appreciate everyone who listens and reads on the website. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of the game.
Enjoy the game, guys, and